Hello and welcome back to the Brick Built Life, where today we're reviewing the Armoured Assault Tank. This set is set number 75283, has 286 pieces, and retails for $39.99 USD or $49.99 Canadian. This set comprises of main build along with 4 figures. This set comprises of 2 droid pilots for the AAT, along with the 332nd Legion Trooper, also known as Ahsoka's Clone Trooper. On the far right, we have Ahsoka Tano, a Jedi that has been in high demand in the aftermarket community and has finally made its way into a LEGO set again after around an 8-year hiatus. I'm going to be going through the figures first, then an overview of the set, and at the very end I'll give my final thoughts. We start this review with the figures. On the left, we have 2 AAT pilot droids. Now, funnily enough, these are the exact same type of design as was used in a few other models in previous years, but in those models it was marketed as a Kashyyyk battle droid. Now this I find very fascinating as it does match Kashyyyk style colors, however we never see Kashyyyk battle droids in the Star Wars universe. So I do question the realism of these droids, however they are a nice inclusion. I probably would have preferred 2 commander droids, or 1 commander droid and 1 pilot droid, with the colorations we're more familiar with from older years of LEGO Star Wars, with the yellow and blue coloring respectively. Moving on to the Clone Trooper, the only Clone Trooper provided within this set, we have Ahsoka's Clone Trooper from the 332nd Legion. This trooper is really well done, highly accurate to what we see within the Season 7 of the Clone Wars TV show, and the design is just great. I went into the details of this trooper a bit more in my 501st Legion Clone Troopers set review. However, this one maintains those standards with the boot printing on the legs, along with leg printing, a really great torso print, and a really great helmet print as well. Now I'm just going to come in for just a moment to remove this guy's head so that you can get a look at his face. Now this is a new face piece, or a new head for the Angry Clone designation. It is much more realistic to what we see in the movies, with the skin tone being far more accurate, along with the facial expression generally speaking. I really do appreciate this, and it is not the animated style of heads that LEGO was using for a while there. Now on the far right, we have what most people are probably looking for within this set entirely. Now this is one of the major draws of the set. It definitely was for me. And I purchased a few of these sets mainly because of the included Ahsoka Tano minifigure. Ahsoka Tano has become one of the most prominent Star Wars characters in modern Star Wars content, appearing both in the Clone Wars along with The Mandalorian. Now this character is likely going to appear in several more TV shows and or movies in the coming years. However, it's good to note that LEGO has included her here. In this LEGO set, she is sporting her design from Season 7 of the Clone Wars, with her torso and leg prints being modeled after that design. And while her headpiece is a little larger than what we see within that TV show, I find it accurate enough. I really like her headpiece mold. I like the silver band at the top. It really separates this headpiece mold from the previous headpiece mold used on the old Ahsoka Tano minifigure. This makes this figure a bit more desirable and really cements it as one of the most desirable minifigures of the summer 2020 wave. With the minifigures out of the way, we move on to the build. Now we move on to the build, and here we have a few different perspectives than the minifigures. The minifigures as a whole, I cannot complain about. The droids have a few different flaws, but that can be completely overlooked. It is not a really major component of the set. However, the build itself is what you pay for, you know? It's 285 pieces for this set. And I think they did a pretty good job. I would give them a 7 out of 10 overall. But there are a few different things here. First off, if you've had any of the older AAT models, then this one is going to kind of disappoint you, I think. The silhouette of it is pretty great. I really do appreciate the use of a few different building techniques. There's a lot of detail here, especially in this area. I like the guns as well, although it is really important to note that in the building instructions, these side guns are actually flipped. So the shorter one is on top, the longer one is on the bottom. This is not accurate to the movies or TV shows at all. There is no Star Wars content where that is the case. The longer barrel is always on top. I'm unsure as to why LEGO did this. It's like that in all box art, all digital media, and in the building instructions. It is a simple process of literally just flipping it around. However, I'm surprised that LEGO made this mistake and really stuck with it throughout the entire development process for this set. Now, I'm just going to give you a few different angles of the set before I go into the features. However, what you can see here is just the detail. You can see the guns, you can see the flick-fire missiles here, which are activated by some switches back here. Nice. And beyond this, there are no additional play features. I'll be showing you some hatches and some other interior details, but this is the only interactive play feature of this set. It's the only thing you can really shoot, but I do find that adequate. I don't really need anything beyond that, although it is difficult to get it in. You can see that a few of the parts are a little finicky and a little hard to handle. I find the handling of the set to be a little finicky, particularly these, which are on just a single stud, can be difficult to align, and these move about. You can hear that. That's not the best. Moving on to kind of the handling portion of the build, you are able to move this up and down an unrealistically high amount. Look at that. That's kind of ridiculous. However, it's kind of cool, and I do appreciate the playability there. Now we're going to move on to kind of some of the interior aspects. One of two opening compartments within this build, this is the gunnery's hatch, and as you can see in there, there's literally nothing. It is 3 studs by 2 studs and around 2 studs deep in there, and you can fit one of your pilot droids in there, like so. He fits in there quite well. You can kind of give him a little shielding. However, the hatch can't close completely with him in that position. You can obviously take him out and close the hatch pretty easily, but this is the extent of the interior space for the gunnery position. Now this is the driver's compartment of the AAT. It has a slightly larger interior cabin space and has a bit more detail. You can see 2 panels, one on each side. Each has a different design on it, and it's kind of, I do appreciate that. On the right side of your screen, I guess, you can see a kind of a targeting system, and on the left are probably some driver controls. You can fit a figure in there, although it is not the easiest, and the hatch cannot close with his weapon in there, but his or her, I guess. But if I take the weapon off and kind of lay the arms down a bit, we can fit him in there, and we can close the hatch. So that does close, that does work, that's closed completely, opens back up. That's pretty awesome. I do appreciate that, and you can store these figures in there. I do like the interior detail, and kind of zooming out just a small amount, you can kind of see the what that looks like. So you can kind of see a bit of the design there. I really appreciate these pieces. It's a great design and really space efficient. It's something that I'm going to take into consideration when doing my own building. Now we will move on to kind of my final thoughts. And now we come to the final thoughts part of this review. And this is where I have mixed feelings about this set. On one hand, I love the figures, particularly these two. I find them both compelling and collectible. I find them interactive and relevant to current Star Wars media. And they're overall just great figures. 10 out of 10. If I could get this set for half the price with kind of a bit more of a low budget build and those two figures, I think this set would have sold much better and had a better reception. However, this set is really weighed down by the questionability of these two figures. Are they droid pilots? Are they Kashyyyk battle troopers? What are they? It's hard to tell. And the set itself is okay. Another thing we have to kind of discuss here is value. The value of this set is mediocre at best. 285 pieces for $39.99 USD. Now, consider that the 501st Legion Clone Troopers set has the exact same number of pieces, give or take 10 parts. So there's less than a 10-part difference between these two sets. Yet there's a $10 difference in the MSRP of these sets. While there are a few larger components on this build, it really does not justify the $10 increase, and the reduction of 2 minifigures for this set compared to the 501st Legion Clone Troopers set makes this a far less compelling deal than that one. That being said, a lot of people are going to pick this up anyways, mainly for these two. A few reasons for that are that the Ahsoka Tano minifigure on aftermarket sites is selling for well in excess of $40 US, sometimes encroaching on $80 US just for that one figure. To get a more relevant and well-designed figure in a $40 set is just so compelling that most people will just purchase it just for that figure. And I do believe that LEGO is cognizant of that. I do feel that LEGO has increased the price of the set or decreased the amount of value that they've put into the set, primarily due to the fact that Ahsoka Tano is within this set. That being said, the Ahsoka Tano's Clone Trooper minifigure is amazing. However, we do see them in mass, and their only appearance within Star Wars is en masse. So the fact that we only get one trooper here is quite saddening. If they had included one more Ahsoka Tano's Clone Trooper minifigure, I think this set would have been much more compelling to a lot of people. A lot more people would have bought duplicates of this set just for collecting those minifigures. Well, that wraps up our review of the Armoured Assault Tank, set number 75283. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe for more content like this. Drop a like if you appreciated the information within this episode. And please check out my website where I post more reviews, blog posts, and sign up for my newsletter where I talk about the latest in Star Wars, in LEGO, and in LEGO Star Wars. With that being said, this has been the Brick Built Life. I'll see you next time. Peace out.